So there was an important development in the Mike Flynn case today, and it knocks Mike Flynn and Bill Barr back on their heels. And that's a good thing, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So today, the full DC Court of Appeals, all 12 judges, delivered a real blow to Mike Flynn and Bill Barr's attempt to dismiss Mike Flynn's criminal case for lying to the FBI. A quick recap. Mike Flynn was Donald Trump's national security advisor. He had some conversations with the Russians that he shouldn't have been having. He lied to the vice president about those conversations. He lied repeatedly to the FBI about those conversations. He went into court and he pled guilty to lying to the FBI, and Judge Emmett Sullivan accepted his plea of guilty. Judge Sullivan set Mike Flynn's case down for sentencing. And after that, Bill Barr had one of his flunkies file a motion to dismiss Mike Flynn's case. Judge Sullivan said, "Not so fast. I smell a rat." You know, it just felt wrong. It felt corrupt. So Judge Sullivan did what Judge Sullivan was entitled to do. He set a hearing on the motion to dismiss Mike Flynn's case, because the rules say a prosecutor can't dismiss a case without leave of court. The court has to grant the motion to dismiss. Well, the last thing Bill Barr and Mike Flynn wanted was for Judge Sullivan to hold a hearing into why the Department of Justice was trying to tank Mike Flynn's case, because that ran the risk of exposing their corrupt scheme. So Bill Barr and Mike Flynn ran up to the appellate court, which is really curious because you usually don't get to appeal a case until it's over. And this case is not over. They ran to the appellate court filing what's called a petition for a writ of mandamus. I won't go into that. And they tried to convince 3 judges who were sitting on the appellate panel that was going to hear the appeal to order Judge Sullivan to dismiss the case because he shouldn't be allowed to hold a hearing. Well, 2 of the 3 judges ended up siding with Bill Barr and Mike Flynn. Bill Barr, remember, is supposed to be the Attorney General representing the interests of the people, but he abandoned that role and migrated to Mike Flynn's defense camp, and those 2 have been in league, have been lockstep ever since. 2 of the 3 appellate court judges decided that, Judge Sullivan should dismiss the case. The judge who authored the opinion, Judge Rao, was a recent Donald Trump appointee. There was a really powerful dissenting opinion by the one judge who disagreed, Judge Wilkins, and he said, no, the law says that this isn't even a final matter yet, that they get to appeal. So, but at that point in time, 2 of the 3 appellate court judges said Judge Sullivan should dismiss the case. Judge Sullivan said, not so fast. Judge Sullivan filed an appeal of his own. He asked the full appellate court bench, all 12 judges, it's called en banc, full court. He asked all 12 judges to reconsider the opinion that 2 of the 3 judges handed down, saying he should dismiss this case that wasn't even finalized yet. And here's what I can tell you about Judge Sullivan, having handled cases in front of him. He really enjoys, and he's really energized by, protecting the integrity of the criminal justice system, guarding it against DOJ prosecutorial abuse and corruption. So he said, no, I'm not dismissing the case. He asked all 12 judges to reconsider the case. So after that, there was this remarkable brief filed by the Department of Justice. It was this mega brief that was signed by not 1, not 2, not 3, but 9 Department of Justice lawyers. Now, I've never done this before, but I'm going to ask you all to watch a short clip. It's a clip of what I said in my video 8 or 9 days ago when this mega brief came in with 9 DOJ lawyers signing on to it. Please watch this clip and we'll talk on the other side. I won't dwell on it, but this 9 attorney pleading, I don't care if 109 Department of Justice lawyers signed this pleading, this thing falls under the weight of its own poor reasoning. So, yeah, this whole, persuasion by the pound, 9 DOJ lawyers made this argument and said, the court cannot review this case en banc, full court, can't do it. Yeah, well, today, the full en banc court rejected that argument by all 9 DOJ lawyers and said, we are going to hear this case en banc, full court. Here's what the court said in a very short 1-page opinion in the Mike Flynn case. And there are 12 judges whose names appear on this 1-page order. They say that upon consideration of the petition for rehearing en banc, full court, the responses thereto, and the vote in favor of rehearing en banc by a majority of the judges eligible to participate, that means a majority of those 12 judges voted to rehear this case with all of the judges participating. It is hereby ordered that this case be reheard by the court sitting en banc, and it is further ordered that the court's order filed on June 24th, 2020 be vacated. What does that mean? Well, remember that the case had been decided by a 3-judge panel, and 2 of the 3 judges said Judge Sullivan should dismiss the case, and 1 judge dissented, Judge Wilkinson, said no, the law doesn't allow for that. He should not dismiss the case. He should be permitted to hold the hearing he wants to hold and then make a decision. Well, the author of that majority, that 2-person majority opinion, was Judge Rao, Trump appointee, and I urge you to read it. It was not well reasoned, and it was not well supported by the cases she cited. I also urge you to read Judge Wilkins' dissent because it is powerful and right on point, and I predict, go out on a limb and make another prediction, after the court hears this case en banc, all judges, Judge Wilkins' dissent and the rationale therein will end up being the majority of the judge's opinion moving forward. So here's the other thing they say in this 1-page order. They say, it's further ordered that the oral argument before the en banc court will be held at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, August 11th, 2020, and the parties should be prepared to address whether there are, quote, no other adequate means to attain the relief desired, close quote. What does that mean? So remember I said a few minutes ago how you usually only get to appeal a case when it's over, when the judge has resolved it, when he or she has made all the decisions they're going to make. But remember, Bill Barr and Mike Flynn ran to the appellate court prematurely because the last thing they wanted was for Judge Sullivan to hold a hearing and potentially out their corrupt scheme. So that sentence, that the parties should focus in their argument on August 11th on whether there is still the relief that Mike Flynn seeks in the event we let Judge Sullivan hold his hearing. And the answer is, of course there is. Think about it. Judge Sullivan will hold his hearing, and he will do one of 2 things. He will either grant Bill Barr's motion to dismiss Mike Flynn's case, in which case it's over, there's nothing to appeal, or he will deny Bill Barr's motion to dismiss Mike Flynn's case and sentence Mike Flynn, and then it's final. It's done, then it's appealable. So Mike Flynn can still get the relief he seeks at that point in time. This exposes the real reason they're fighting so hard to keep Judge Sullivan from having a hearing, because they don't want to out their corrupt scheme. It's like Donald Trump fighting so hard not to let us see his tax information and his financial documents. He doesn't want the corruption exposed. Bill Barr and Mike Flynn don't want the corruption exposed, but it will be exposed, hopefully by Judge Sullivan in the near term when he holds a hearing and orders people from the Department of Justice to testify about these shenanigans, to put it mildly? Or if not, then the accountability and the transparency begins in January. Folks, as always, please stay safe. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.